Hey, good morning everybody. Welcome back to another live stream with Montana Outdoor Science School. Today's topic is all about owl pellet dissections. I'm going to get started here real quick, but first a shout out to those who won at trivia last night. A little event put on by both Montana Outdoor Science School and the Montana Science Center. Well done, you guys. Congratulations on winning. Very exciting. It was super fun last night. We hope to do more of those in the future and hope that more folks will get interested and join us on those. Furthermore, today is still a part of the Give Big event. The Give Big event is an event for donating to nonprofits within the Gallatin Valley area. If you have a nonprofit organization you would like to donate to, check out the Give Big website, see about donating, even if it's just a little. We are in tough times, but if you are willing and able, we definitely appreciate it for sure. That goes on until 6 p.m. tonight, that Give Big event, so be sure to check that out. Without further ado, I'm going to get started on the owl pellet. I want to show you guys what my setup is. Let me turn my camera around. So here in front of me, I've got my little dissection tray that I'm going to be using, and I've also got my dissection tools. Now, often we give kids a little tray and these tool sets, and kids always get excited because they think, oh great, I get to use sharp stuff, and it's really kind of overrated as far as that goes. They always think they're going to get a scalpel, and oftentimes we don't even include the scalpel in here because scalpel is super overrated. The most useful tools in here, honestly, end up being the tweezers and the scissors, in my opinion. You never need to do a dissection so precise, so surgical that you need a scalpel, really. So I always take that out of my dissection kits that I give to kids. But the scissors are really helpful. And today, these little blue and red handled tools in here, these are dissection needles. These are also going to be really helpful. So those are my tools that I have. With this dissection, I'm not going to really worry about wearing gloves. I've washed my hands. I'm not going to touch anything other than my tools and my owl pellet. And the owl pellets have been sanitized. That's the beauty of buying online. This is actually just a really easy thing to do. I typed in owl pellets earlier thinking that I was going to get a bunch of websites with info for owl pellets, and what I ended up getting was instead a ton of websites for selling owl pellets. So these are hugely popular. These are really easy to buy, and they come with owl pellets inside. I've got the last one right here that I'm going to do, and I just love doing owl pellet dissections because it's a little bit like getting a gift and getting to unwrap a gift. They come wrapped up in tin foil. This one's a fairly small one, but you can find all kinds of sizes. They range from maybe the size of my palm. They can range to even smaller. Owls aren't the only ones who regurgitate an owl pellet. Owl pellets can come from all kinds of birds, including other raptors as well. So I'm going to start unwrapping this, and I'll talk a little bit more about owl pellets in general as we get going. Let me put my camera down so y'all can see very nicely. There it is. Oh yeah, I'm so excited. I should mention before I get started what I'm going to find in here. So owl pellets are the remnants of the undigestible parts of prey that raptors have consumed. So this ends up being bone, this ends up being hair. Based on the bones, you can figure out what kind of prey that animal has been eating. Ooh, there it is, you guys. Look how little it is. It's so cute. It's little, but you're going to watch this thing unfold, and as I start to pull it apart, it's going to spread out, and you're going to realize just how many bones are in this thing. It's going to be pretty cool. I'm going to set that there. I have a little tool here for myself to help me as I do find bones. It's a little chart that I can compare all of my bones I find. Let me pull up my camera here. So check this out. This is a sample of all the things I might find in here. I might also find exoskeletons of insects if this owl had been eating any insects at all. And you can see we've got rodents all the way down this column. We've got shrews, moles, which are actually not rodents. They are an entirely separate group from rodents. They don't have teeth that grow the same as rodents. They are related to hedgehogs, actually. And then we've got bird bones as well over here. So I'm gonna see what I might find, use that as my little comparison. These are also really handy and readily available online. There's all kinds of resources that you can find to help you identify what you may have pulled apart in your owl pellet. All right, let me get started. So I'm going to take my tweezers. I'm going to probably use these to really pull out those fine little details, but I'm also going to use one of my dissection needles to help pry apart some of these bigger regions. Ooh, this one's going to come apart in half like an egg. Nice. Oh, we can, oops, already see really little bones in there. Do y'all see that? Let me get my camera so it's focused there. Check that out. There are little bones right through here. They're super tiny. You can't discredit anything you find in an owl pellet because these animals that the owls are eating are super small. Therefore, their bones are going to be just immensely little. Check that out. Cool. I'm excited to pull more of these apart. Oh, and I should have stopped to say this, but you can see bones on the outside without even having to pull this thing apart yet. Check that out. That's so cool. I'm really excited to see what kind of bone this is, but do y'all see these little tiny bones here that I'm pointing at with my dissection needle? Those might be finger or toe bones, and I'm not going to discredit those tiny ones either. I'm going to pull everything out that I possibly can during this dissection. Oh, dissections are so fun. It is really like unwrapping a gift. It's wrapped in tinfoil, you pull something out, it's full of surprises. I love it. Let's see. The real treasure in an owl pellet is finding a skull, and that'll really be indicative as to what kind of animal this owl had eaten. I had mentioned earlier how other birds are totally capable of regurgitating regurgitating pellets. I believe that those include hawks. It's going to be some non-raptors as well, such as crows, as ravens. Ooh, I believe I have a tiny little vertebrae. Let me see if I can get that to focus just a bit better. I'm not really sure what that is. I'm going to put that in a little pile separately as to unsure, but check out this piece here. Ooh. I got it by a hair, literally a hair. That is so small. I think that is a piece of the back of the skull of something. And you can see just how thin it is. It's so little. Oh, micro treasures. I love it. Oh yeah, folks, do you see all those? Those are all kinds of little finger bones in there. I'm gonna roughly sift through this, but like I said, ultimately, I'm looking for a skull if I can, because the skulls are really exciting. And then I will go through and check out all the other little bones that we might have. Let's see if we can identify any. Ooh, I've got a long bone of some kind. Let's see. So the hair is also a part of the undigestible pieces of animals for owls. Owls, because they are such efficient flyers, they tend to not have quite as efficient a digestive system. If you look at other raptors, especially ones that are awake in the daytime, they have a very, very efficient digestive system. They're often not regurgitating quite as many pieces or as many bones or as much fur as owls are. Owls, though, that's neat. Look at that little bone. Owls, though, they have to be light, they have to be silent, and so their digestive system is pretty fast, and it goes through, it tries to digest as much as it can as quick as possible, and whatever's left over, that's those bones, those hairs, any exoskeletons, it gets regurgitated really fast. They can't spend too long with this stuff in their gut digesting, because that's just going to weigh them down. They have what is, you could imagine as almost two stomachs. Ooh, I think I know what this is. So folks, check this out. What do y'all think? Does that look about right? Maybe. Let's compare it to a couple of other things. So I'm thinking that looks like that one. It's not going to be exactly the same size as what's in the pictures here. This is just a reference to what you may find, but things you may find will be smaller than these here. I'm looking at that bone and I don't see anything else that really looks like it. What I see on this picture is there's a little hole right there, and that's exactly what I saw. Oh, let's see if I can get my camera to focus. That's exactly what I saw on the end there, and that makes me think it's that. But then there's this little nub here. You see a little nub on the bone? And so that makes me think it might not be this scapula. That's a shoulder blade. It might not be the scapula of a mole. I'll leave that there. Maybe we can explore that in a little bit. Let's see if we can find some other goodies inside of this owl pellet. As I was saying, owls have to kind of get rid of that added weight, so they have something called a gizzard. The gizzard is where all this material, oh, this is the same kind of bone, y'all. Oh, I love it. This is a better example too. Yeah, check out that little tiny nub there, and it's got the little hole through the tip there. We're gonna put that one next to our original we just found. So they have a gizzard, which is near the stomach, next to the stomach, I believe. And the gizzard is holding all of these things that are undigestible for that owl. In that gizzard, it'll eat, I think, about a night's worth of meals, and from there, the owl will then regurgitate it. And I think it's, on average, it's like every 1 to 2 days is their regurgitation rate. Something really exciting that I found in my neighborhood on some of my walks is I found a whole set of trees with dozens upon dozens of owl pellets under it. It was so cool. I kind of wish I could have done this video out near that tree just so I could show you guys, but maybe I'll do a little nature nugget update and I can show y'all that owl pellet area. This is a rib here. Now, what kind of rib is it? I'm not entirely sure. Let's take a, oops. Oh, I just broke it. Oh, it's such tiny, tiny little bones. You have to be very gentle when you're working with them. Luckily, that's of not too big of consequence to have broken that little tiny one. Let's move along though. Ooh, I see a really good bone right there. Let me dig that guy out. So these owl pellets, like I said, have been sanitized by a company, but the owl pellets out by that tree, as I was saying, are fresh. They are totally coming out of nature without anyone having handled them. And even I haven't handled them yet. If you wanted, you could research yourselves how you might be able to sanitize owl pellets at home. I wouldn't recommend it necessarily, especially if you aren't willing to handle it with gloves on. I would say don't pick them up. But there is a way, and I just don't know what that way is. The internet has all kinds of good answers. I'm sure you could find that. Let's check out what that bone is, y'all. That bone, to me, looks a bit, oh, you know what? I'm starting to see a pattern here. That bone looks a bit like that one right there. And you know what column that's in? That's in the mole column right there. That's neat. So this might be a mole of some kind. Let's keep looking at what we've got. This is just a working hypothesis. We may find other bones in here. We may find the bones of multiple creatures in here. It doesn't just have to be the one. Let's see too if we can find a skull in here. I, separately from the owl pellet trees, found a single owl pellet a handful of weeks ago. I did post a little nature nugget about that online, so if you wanted to check that out, you could check out our YouTube channel with Montana Outdoor Science School and see what we've got going on there. Ooh, that's a nice bone. Look at that. And you know what? That looks exactly like what we've got right there. Look how close that is. You can see the little, oh, maybe you guys can't see it. My phone's a little blurry. There it goes. You can see the little spot where I believe a leg bone would fit into, like a pelvis or femur. Or this is the pelvis, I think. Yeah, this is the pelvis. Pelvic bone. and that little hole is where the femur would fit into. That's so cool. You guys, I think we're finding evidence for sure that this owl ate a mole. Scientists really love finding a owl pellet. Ornithologist is what you call a scientist who studies birds. So ornithologists who find owl pellets have an opportunity to study an owl without actually having to take an owl out of its habitat. Instead, they can collect an owl pellet, they can dissect it just like I'm doing, and check out what kinds of bones are in here. And based on what bones are in here, they can then figure out what kind of prey that owl is eating. They can figure out the animal that those bones belong to. And from there, they may even be able to further identify what type of owl that pellet came from, because certain owls may eat certain prey. Furthermore, depending on where you find owl pellets, you can guess the range for owls. Typically, they will regurgitate these owl pellets in places that are their kind of like their resting spots, their hangout areas, or their homes. I'm not sure what bone that is. I'll put that right up here, though. We'll look at that in a moment. There's all kinds of little bones in here. I'm sorry my phone keeps going a little blurry, everybody. I'm trying to keep it focused pretty readily here. If you do have any questions, feel free to type that into the comment section. Would love to see any questions. Would love to hear from you guys. Furthermore, someone already mentioned this in the comments for Moss, but we are still in the Big Give event timeline that ends at 6 p.m. tonight, I believe. So you still have an opportunity to donate to nonprofit organizations in the Gallatin Valley area. That is a nice little bone there. Let's take these 3 bones now and see what they might be based on our chart over here. So, it's not ribs, because if you look at the ribs have, ooh, that rib looks like it could be maybe those, but I'm uncertain. But these bones here that I've got, these 3, they don't look like any of these rib bones. If we move up the line, it doesn't look like any of those pelvic bones. It might be parts of the hind limb or the forelimb, though, and there's a lot of bones here to work with. But if we take a look at, say, take a look at these femurs and these tibias, these ulnas and radias, humerus, you can see there's definitely similarities. I am uncertain what these may be, though. This one's really squat. Like I said, this owl pellet may contain pieces of multiple animals, so it may not just be one type of thing this owl ate. I'm not exactly sure where this owl pellet came from. Because it came online, I don't think it's necessarily a Montana-based owl pellet. Nevertheless, very exciting, very cool. Let me see if it says on this real quick. Let's see. It doesn't say right away what kind of owls these come from. It does say, however, on the instructions that these have been sanitized really, really well. They've been submitted to a test lab to make sure that there's no more bacteria. It's always best to buy these online if you can. If you find them outside, you could bring them home. I don't recommend it necessarily. You'd have to worry about those bacteria that are in those owl pellets. And that's just exposing yourself to unnecessary risk. Ooh, you guys, I think we found a bottom jaw. Check that out. Ooh, can I get my phone to be? Yeah, do you see those 2 little teeth there? They are orange, which indicates to me that this is a kind of rodent jaw. Let me take my little dissection needle here. We're going to just pry apart real gently all this hair here. Oh man, I love dissecting owl pellets, everybody. It's so fun. Like I said, it's like unwrapping a little gift. You pull out the tinfoil owl pellet, you open it up, and there's a surprise inside. Oops, I'm gonna lose one of my teeth on this guy. That's okay. I'll set that out yonder so I can pick that up here in a moment. Oops. if you have any questions, feel free to ask us on the comments section. Would love to hear from you guys. Would also love to hear if you've found anything cool in your neighborhoods lately. Like I said, I found a set of trees that owls have been roosting at. That was the word I was looking for earlier. And they have been regurgitating all kinds of owl pellets. Oh, you guys, look at that. That is a treasure. That is the bottom jaw of a little tiny rodent. Oh my goodness. I love it. Oh, I'm so excited. Let's check out what we've got over here. Like I said, I know it's a rodent because those little teeth are orange. There we go. Those little front teeth are orange. Rodents have an extra amount of iron in their teeth, their front incisors, and on the top and on the bottom, and that allows for their teeth to be nice and strong. Their teeth are forever growing, so they have to continue to be strong. They can't be breaking readily on them. But that is totally rodent jaw. So we've got, for sure, mole bones. These ones I'm still unsure about. These could be mole or shrew bones or rodent bones, these three right here. But we've definitely got a rodent jaw. So that's very, very cool. Let me do maybe one more big section of this, and then I will peel out of here and let you guys get on with your day. I have one more fun thing to show y'all. Oh yeah, we got all kinds of goodies in here. So if I was going to take my time on this and really film the entirety of me dissecting this, I would be setting aside all of the tiny little toe bones, all of the really small pieces as well. I would try to organize them based on type of bone and size of bone. Ooh. Oh, you guys, there's another type of skull in here, I think. Let's see. I think it's a skull just because of how large it is so far. I'm going to try to be really gentle here. I don't want to hurt this. This may be the skull to that upper jaw that we found earlier. Oh, wouldn't that just be perfect to end on finding a top part of a skull? There are a few ways that the internet says you can dissect an owl pellet. Oops, there we go. This includes wetting your owl pellet before you actually begin taking it apart. I prefer not to do that just because of all the hair in here. I don't really want to deal with wet hair on my fingertips, but that is something that you can do. Ooh. Let's see if I can get that to focus. I'll keep it right about that distance. Oh, cool. Can y'all see it? It's almost totally complete. Here's the top, and here's the bottom. And let's see if I can just gently peel apart these little hairs here. Now, I am using my fingers more than anything, simply so that I can keep this in your guys's, into your folks' view. And also, I'm finding that my fingers are far more delicate than taking the metal to this sometimes. The gizzard is a really cool organ in raptors and in other birds. It holds things that the bird cannot digest. So in owls, that includes all the bone, all the fur of their prey. And the gizzard is actually responsible for compacting the owl pellet into the shape that it is. So if you ever look at them and you think, wow, they're pretty small, and then you start to take them apart like I've done, I mean, look how much stuff there is everywhere. It really does a very good job of compacting all those unnecessary little parts that the owl or whatever other bird is regurgitating just doesn't need. The muscles of a gizzard are very, very powerful. Oh, nice. Look what we have uncovered, everyone. Wow. I'm going to keep pulling it apart. That's exciting. I love that. Oh, it's so close to coming apart. Ooh, another rodent because of those orange teeth. Can y'all see that? those bright orange teeth on the bottom. That is another rodent for sure. That's very cool. Oh yeah. Oh, and we have an opportunity to see some more teeth. I'm sorry this is so blurry. I'm trying to really focus it in on for you guys. Nice. Oh, that's so awesome. I love that. So my other thing I was going to show y'all was, if you remember the size of my owl pellet, it wasn't very big. It was pretty little. It was wrapped probably only into about that size in the tinfoil before. So that is all the stuff that has come out of this owl pellet here. I mean, look how much stuff there is. We could take this now, we could place it into our rodent category. But I have one more thing to show y'all. We had someone donate a bunch of owl pellets to Moss, things that they had found on their own little nature walks. Check it out. And these things are huge. They're immense. And that's help in indicating what kind of raptor must have regurgitated these. It had to have been something super big. Compared to our owl pellet and how big it started off, it wasn't a whole lot bigger than this. And I mean, look at those in there. They are just huge. Imagine all the things you could pull out of those. These ones, though, because they did come from the wild, I am not going to touch them. I'm going to see about sanitizing them. Maybe. If not, then I think we will just leave them as specimens for people to look at, because these are just so cool. You can see little bones just sitting outside of them like so. So cool. Oh, and you guys, you could even see a rodent head sticking out of that one. Check that out. Oh, that's so neat. I love this stuff. So that's the owl pellet dissection for today. That's pretty much everything I have to share with y'all. Thanks for joining us again. Once again, it is the second Give Big event that ends, I think, at 6 p.m. tonight. That is something where you can donate money to any nonprofit organizations in the Gallatin Valley area. Again, a big congratulations to those who won trivia last night. Trivia was super fun. We hope to do more of those in the future for Montana Outdoor Science School, and maybe pair up with Montana Science Center again on that. So once more, thanks for joining us, everyone. I hope you learned a little something about owl pellets and pellets in general. I hope you get curious and excited and want to go try this out yourself. Remember, you can buy these online already sanitized. If you find any in the wild, please be sure you're not touching it. You don't want to get bacteria on you. That would be a bad thing. But hope to join you guys next time, 11 a.m. on Wednesday next week. We will see you then. Thanks, y'all.